Yeah. Shimon, y'all. Shimon, y'all. It's the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe, the What Up Doe Show. Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy T. Wilson, and I'm live on a Tuesday morning. It is the What Up Doe Show. Got a whole lot going on today. Everything is full. Got a lot of birthdays, a lot of stories, and a lot to say. So I'm just going to go ahead and move on fast as possible. It is too early to move as fast as I did that day at lunchtime, but we're going to move as fast as possible. I wanted to use the same inflections there. Oh, I got a lot of first-time people that's going to be on my birthday list, man, so I hope I get a lot of new listeners today because it's going to be a deep show today. So big up, first and foremost, to Jane Marie Smith. We used to work together at Clear Channel and for WJLB. That's my girl, great writer, very talented broadcaster. They know me, Miss Loke Diva Thomas. I'll make it that right again. I tried to practice it before I started so I wouldn't mess it up. Denami Miss Loke Diva Thomas. Big up to you. And Teresa Thomas, the beautiful Anima Martinez. One of my favorite customers of all times, Miss Cheryl Perry. What's up, Cheryl? You got to come check out the new TLX. That's my girl. Homeboy of mine, we go way back all the way to the days of kids. He's the owner of Johansson Charles Gallery in Detroit, Michigan, down in Eastern Market. Johansson Charles. Give it up for him. What up, though? Also, a big up to Catherine Dorsey. Daynami Irregular Flow Thomas. So that's the same person, by the way. I'm just noticing that. Why didn't I notice that the first time? So it's Miss Loke Diva and Irregular. I think I like Miss Loke Diva better. Irregular Flow sounds a little like you're talking about your period. Anyway, and last, Miss CC, not my CC, but a different CC, singer, talented artist, beautiful young lady, Colleen Crusoe. So, yo, that's the birthdays for today. So, happy birthday to all of y'all. Mm-hmm. And since we got so much to cover, let's go on and get this party started.
The What Up Doe Show. Your commentary on sports, entertainment, and alternative news.
All right, let's check this out. First, we want to get into the What Up Doe sports. It's cutting time in the NFL, and here are some of the biggest names on the potential chopping block. I just made a list of my top 5 names on the chopping block. We'll start with Christian Ponder. First-year Vikings coach Mike Zimmer claimed in June that he wanted to give everybody an opportunity in the competition to be the team's starting quarterback, but it quickly became clear in training camp that Ponder was the third wheel in what remains a 2-horse race between Matt Castle and Teddy Bridgewater. Jam, oh, jam, Teddy jam for me, yeah. Ben Jarvis Green Ellis, the law firm. Writing has been on the wall in Cincinnati for Ben Jarvis ever since the Bengals selected Jeremy Hill, a powerful between the tackles running back from LSU, in the second round of this year's draft. Take one home to the Detroit Lions, Michael LaShore. If the Lions are going to keep LaShore for the final year of his rookie contract, he has to have a legitimate role within their offense. So far this summer, it's been unclear whether that will be the case. No Sean Marino. That was a surprising name to me. When the Dolphins landed Marino for just $3 million this offseason, it looks like they came away with a free agency bargain. So far this summer, however, it's the rest of the league who has looked smart for taking a buyer beware approach. I know Sean Marino, and you, sir, are no Sean Marino. Mario Manningham, after tearing his ACL late in the 2012 season as a member of the 49ers, he caught just 9 passes for 85 yards with the Niners last year. Now back with the Giants, Manningham still battling to return to his past form. So that, folks, right there is my top 5 players, big name players on the chopping block this year. And that's it for the What Up Though Sports. Here we go with that again. Boom. Boom. What Up Though Entertainment? Are y'all up on this? Are y'all watching? Are you paying attention to this Ice Bucket Challenge? Okay, well, the Ice Bucket Challenge is supposed to be some kind of a charity for ALS. All celebrities are doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. It's gone viral. It's Lady Gaga, Tyler Perry. I just saw Ben Affleck, and it's a lot of people. But Charlie Sheen took the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge to a whole new level. Except he substituted a bunch of stupid ice cubes for the cold hard cash he plans to donate to the ALS Foundation. What up with that? What up though with that? The young man who helped the Ice Bucket Challenge go viral and propelled it into the national spotlight died in a diving accident over the weekend in Nantucket Island in Massachusetts. Just a quick side note, let's get on with some What Up Though news. In Cedar Park, Texas, a Texas woman was so desperate to visit her boyfriend in jail that she allegedly stole a $3.99 bottle of wine to get herself arrested and tossed in the clink. Alicia Wallach of Cedar Park was charged with misdemeanor theft after allegedly lifting a bottle of Mad Dog 2020 from a Shell station and proceeding to down it outside the establishment. Wallach advised her boyfriend was arrested earlier that evening by Cedar Park officers, and it was her fault, so she wanted to make things right and go to jail. Who said them hoes ain't loyal? In South Brunswick, New Jersey, yesterday it was Al Roker, today it's Jeter Mania. A farm in New Jersey has created a tribute to retiring New York Yankees shortstop Derek Jeter that is a little bit corny. Fountain Farms is honoring Jeter with a 5-acre corn maze that will be opening next month and continue welcoming guests until Halloween. I don't want this to be a trend, folks. Don't start this corn maze trend, please. Let's do the corn maze challenge. How about that? They should have a corn maze challenge. The corn is currently about 3 feet tall and partially spells out a message reading, "Thanks, Captain Clutch." The maze contains 2 different paths, and people have been very complimentary of it after the farm posted an aerial photo on Facebook. There have been helicopters and planes flying over all morning taking live footage, which we're sure will be on the news tonight, so keep an eye out for it. It's real, baby. It's real out here in the cornfield. It's real in the cornfield. In Dubai, United Arab Emirates, I don't know if I say that right, officials wouldn't let the world's most pierced man enter the country because it looks like he practices black magic. I really planned on posting a picture of this guy, but something else came up, so I'll post him on the What Up Though Show page. You can find the What Up Though Show page on Facebook.com/The What Up Though Show. Rolf Bullholz, who has 453 piercings on his body and face, flew to Dubai because he was supposed to make an appearance at a nightclub. In addition to the hundreds of piercings, the 53-year-old man has 2 horns implanted in his forehead, so he looks like the devil. It's eerie looking. He's 53. I didn't realize that. Why are you taking appearances at nightclubs in your 50s? Buchholz, who is from Germany, was stopped at the airport and then put on a flight to Istanbul because of the black magic concerns. He has been recognized by the Guinness World Book of Records, or however you say that shit, the Guinness World Book of Records, for having the most piercings in the world. I'm sure his mom is proud. In Madison, Wisconsin, Madtown, home of Latone Hart of the 730 Show, who's going hungry because he's trying to get some squirrel meat that he can't handle. A 24-year-old woman who loves giraffes was kicked in the face after she entered the giraffe enclosure at the Henry Village Zoo in Madison. Zumo D was quoted as saying, "How you like me now, bitch?" Amanda Hall climbed into the exhibit so she could get an up close and personal with a 2-year-old giraffe named Wally. The 12-foot tall animal first licked Hall, then booted her in the face. Hall sustained none life-threatening injuries, and Wally was not harmed. He did not break a foot on her face. Hall was cited for harassment of zoo animals, an offense that carries a fine of $686. She got cited for harassing the animal that kicked her in the face. Beautiful. Ah, look at your pretty giraffe. Poof! Giraffe. In Albuquerque, New Mexico, a woman was arrested after she allegedly put poison in her roommate's food and drinks after they found out, speaking of harassing animals, they found out she had been having sex with 2 German shepherds they owned. It is confusing. I'm trying to figure out who poisoned who here, so maybe you can figure this out. Sherry Walters was charged with aggravated battery, cruelty or extreme cruelty to animals, and assault with intent to commit a violent felony after one of her roommates called authorities in Albuquerque and reported she had been poisoned. Okay, so the dog whisperer, the dog licker, is the one that tried to poison the girl that caught her. I get it now. Okay. Anyway. Another 53-year-old person. What's up with 53-year-old people today? If any of those birthdays today, if you're 53, I take my happy birthday back because 53-year-old people are obviously out of their rabbit-ass mind today. Anyway, the 53-year-old woman was allegedly upset her roommate and ex-boyfriend broke up with her after they broke up with her. She already had a threesome with her roommate and her ex-boyfriend. Now she wanted to have a threesome with the dogs. Anyway, they broke up with her after their other roommate found the suspect lying naked and having sex with her dog, Spike. Spike? I guess she's got to have it. She's got to have it. Get it, Spike? Spike was a Spike Lee movie. Anyway, whatever. Walters then admitted to having sex with both her roommate's dogs. Damn. She had a threesome with the dogs. A menage a trois with German shepherds. Talking about doing it doggy style. During an investigation into the matter, one of the roommates told police he was worried the dogs would contract a disease he was aware Walters had. So she's having sex with dogs, and he's worried that the dogs might catch something from that bit. That's a nasty bit. That's messed up. He worried that the dog's gonna get syphilis or chlamydia from this skank. Hey, leave my dog alone. You're gonna give my dog chlamydia. It is now time for your Netflix movie review. Actually, folks, I had planned on doing a Netflix movie review. I was about to watch a movie when, as I was getting ready to turn off my computer, or, and log out, whatever you want to call it. Something on the right side of my screen caught my attention, and the movie never happened. So the movie review, the What Up Though movie review, is canceled today. Because what I found was, along the right side of my screen, was a picture of the autopsy report, the autopsy picture of Mike Brown. And it brought everything back to me. And as I started to delve further into it and started to read that story. It led me to reading other stories and some other commentary, some good commentary out there, by the way. Flipbook has a series of commentary on it from CNN writers and reporters, and some really good commentary, very interesting takes from a lot of different perspectives. And then there was breaking news last night, and I happened to catch it just as it was going down, that the peaceful protesters were met by, again, a wall of police officers. And again, a peaceful protest was met with brutal force, and they tried to stop the protesters and break it up by firing stun grenades and tear gas into the crowd, and it was on again. All of a sudden, we had another outbreak last night of violence in Ferguson, Missouri. Breaking news. Mike Brown had marijuana in his system. He allegedly stole some cigars from a convenience store one day. And the attempts to villainize the victim continues. Translation, he deserved it. That's the message they want you to get. That is the message they want to send, folks. He deserved it. That's the defense. That is the police officer's defense, in case you're missing it. That was the same defense that George Zimmerman used, and it worked. George Zimmerman actually got away with brutally killing a unarmed black child because he deserved it. That was his defense, and it worked. They're trying it again. They're using the same defense again. He had marijuana in his system. Now, marijuana can stay in your system for a week or more. Tricky drug. This came out during the Zimmerman trial. You know, if you have alcohol in your system, you're drunk. If you have marijuana in your system, you could have smoked it a week ago. There's a big difference. And I'm sorry, when was the last time the guy got high and went off on a tangent and just started getting violent and going crazy and doing things that causes them to, you know, attack people? When did marijuana in your system, smoking marijuana, become a crime punishable by death? And when did the death penalty become being shot in the street? This irrelevant bullshit that they're feeding you in an attempt to villainize the victim and tell you he deserved it. KKK is involved. They say he deserved it because he's black. That's basically what they're doing. He deserved it because he's a black youth and he did something. Or he was going to do something. If he wasn't a criminal yet, he was going to be. He's black. I'm sick of niggas screaming this. Where's the outrage on black crime? Where's yours? Where's your outrage? I didn't hear you either. And all I hear you now is having outrage about our outrage. Where's your outrage on crimes against black anybody? Crimes against black by anyone. Where's your outrage? Why is your outrage on ours? Why are you outraged that we're outraged over the unjustified killings and attempted cover-ups of killings of black people? See, that's one thing people need to understand, too. In a lot of these cases where there's been this outrage as of late, it's not so much because of the crime itself, although the crime itself is tragic, and it is worth outrage. It is worth pointing out. It is the attempted cover-ups. It is the alleged. It is the perception they're trying to put out there, and the perception that's really put out there that it's okay, that it's justified because they're black and they're going to be criminals, even if they're not already. They probably are. They probably did something to deserve it because they're black. It's the perception they're putting out there that it doesn't deserve to be punished. That's the problem. It's the systematic cover-ups that causes the outrage. That means so many people, the whole town has to stand up because one person, this family, is not big enough and not strong enough to defeat the system that's going to let their child's murder go unpunished. And even with all the outrage, we still seem to lose. Even with the outrage. So where the fuck is your outrage? Huh? Republican Representative Justin Amash of Missouri tweeted yesterday morning, "Images and reports out of Ferguson are frightening. Is this a war zone or a U.S. city? Government escalates tensions with military equipment and tactics." He's right, but he's interesting because I'm surprised that such a statement came from the Republican Party. So I give credit where credit is due. That was an interesting take, and I agree. But also, you're a government agent, so you take credit for your own work. But there is a clause that's out there. It's a 1033 where these police can dress like soldiers and use military equipment in these certain situations, and it's a bad idea because they're not soldiers. They're not soldiers. They're not trained to be soldiers. They're not trained the same as soldiers. They're not to use these weapons. They really are not. But they start feeling like it because a lot of them are wannabes. And unfortunately, it heightens the violence because, let's put it this way. Last night, peaceful protesters marched into a wall of police pretending to be soldiers. And they attempted to stop the protesters with brutal force, and again, it turned violent. It had to happen, though, folks. This isn't new. This isn't something that the city of Ferguson didn't already see coming. Trust me. This was a combustible situation that we are just now hearing about. But this ain't new to them. People don't build up this much tension overnight. Yeah, the Mike Brown thing was horrible. Yeah, the Mike Brown thing deserves all the outrage it's getting and all the attention that it is getting. And something should be done. Something needs to be done. Something has to be done. But for the amount of tension that is within the community of Ferguson, there was already tension. For the aggression that we're seeing, there was already tension. You ever been in a situation where you just know this is a ticking time bomb just waiting to explode? It was already there. And you know what? It is setting off the ticking time bomb that was ready to explode in this country as a whole because of all of these recent unjustified killings of black children. I mean, I saw a guy walking with a sign last night that said, "Stop killing us." And it just touched me. It just, for some reason, this kid holding this sign saying, "Stop killing us," just got my attention. It has to stop somewhere, folks. It really does. These killings of black children has to lead to immediate arrest and action. These people have to stop trying to get away with just killing black people because they're black and not being as you want them to be. I mean, because he's wearing a hoodie, looks suspicious. Because he's playing his music too loud. Because he's walking in the street. I mean, come on, man. Because he's just just stop. And these guys are, George Zimmerman just walks away from the crime, doesn't get arrested, leaves with the murder weapon, doesn't get tested for drugs or alcohol. I mean, it took them a week to even tell us who the officer was, to even announce who the officer was. And they're sparingly throwing out these little bit of information, a little bit at a time, so that they can come up with a story up for it before it's released. All the evidence is being sprinkled out because before they release it, they're trying to find a way to explain it away before they release it. This kid was shot a minimum of 6 times. One of the bullets was into the top of his head, which means he was either down on his hands and knees or already on the ground. There were bullets that went into him twice, which means he would have to be already on the ground because the bullet would have had to ricochet off of something and re-enter his body. One bullet went into his head and came out of his eye. So if it exited his eye, then it was entered from behind. A friend of the officer, Derek Wilson, says that her story corroborates his story. She said he charged him and he was running towards him. And that's why he was firing the shots at him, while he was facing him, because he was running towards him. So she corroborates the cop's story. Where was she? Where did she get the story from? Was she there? Was she an eyewitness? Because it seems all the eyewitnesses that was actually there watching it tells a different story. But her story is eerily the same as his, even though she wasn't there. So where did she hear her story from? My guess is she heard it from him. Villainizing the victim is a tactic. Where's your outrage, Mr. They beat no on us? And no disrespect to my friend. I have a friend who posted the video and said she's down with what this guy said. I don't know if you saw this video. It's gone kind of viral. This guy who's, we gotta change. We gotta change. They always trying, they're not beating on us, nigga. They are killing us. They're killing our children. Where's your outrage? You only seem to be outraged that we are. Your outrage is aimed at us, the people that's saying, stop killing our children. I'm not with him. No disrespect to my friend, but that nigga ain't shit. He's wrong. This shit needs to stop, and it needs to stop today. This ain't over. This is not just about justice for Mike Brown. This is about a system that needs reparation. That's my show, y'all. Peace.